Hello and welcome to Theme Park Information, and for what seems like the first time forever, we actually have a versus match. This one is going to be between Dollywood, located in Tennessee, and Alton Towers, located in the UK, effectively, or in Staffordshire, depending on which way you wanted to look at it. Now, I will be honest, I am actually quite a big fan of Alton Towers. I know I can be quite negative about it on some of my videos. That's just because I've been going there for quite a while, and they have been removing quite a few rides over the years, which have generally just irritated me a little bit. Obviously, they only have so much space to work with, and they do have a load of restrictions on the stuff they can actually do. For example, they have a height limit, they have to be so worried about sound and noise, obviously. So I do appreciate they do have their hands kind of tied, and they can only do so much for the rides, and some of the stuff they have done has been so clever. They've been, really inventive and creative with what they've done, and that's something you have to appreciate. However, I will be honest, Dollywood's a completely different animal. Like, Dollywood is effectively the sort of park I would see Alton Towers being if Alton Towers had no rules or regulations. Right, so let's get into it, even though that might hint of which one I think is better, even though I think kind of obvious, but we'll go for it anyway. So let's get on to the coasters. And I actually will be honest, this very much will depend on where you fall with some of Alton Towers' coasters. So for example, I really appreciate Nemesis. I think that's an absolutely fantastic ride. I actually think Air's pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of things like 13 and Rita and Oblivion, but they're okay. Actually a big fan of the Runaway Mine Train at Alton Towers for whatever reason. It's pretty cool. Kind of like a bit of a cult classic in my opinion. But the main one, and let's be honest, is what you actually think of the Smiler. Now, I personally think the Smiler is a reasonably okay roller coaster. I completely understand why some people absolutely love it, but at the same time, I can kind of really understand why people dislike it. It's very, it kind of flips and flops around for me and where I kind of rank it. And I have done 2 reviews on it as well, so that kind of sets it up, I think, quite well to, like being quite unsure of it. But I know, for example, like something like Taylor from Coaster Studios absolutely loves it, whereas someone like myself, I'm like, it's okay, it's not too bad. Whereas I think Dollywood's lineup is consistently really, really, really good. So obviously they have Lightning Rod and RMC, which is probably better than some of the rides at Alton Towers if they were all just converged into one. So that says a lot. But then they also have something like Thunderhead, which was one of the best roller coasters I've actually ever been on. I have a separate review for that, and Lightning Rod as it happens, so you can check those out. And then you also are looking at it where, they've also got things like, Wild Eagle, which is pretty sweet. Fire Chaser Express for the kids, I mean, that's a really, really solid ride. It's definitely better than things like 13 and stuff like that. And, they also have things like Tennessee Tornado. So they have a really nice mixed, lineup. Now, I will be honest, I do think their lineup needs a little bit more. I do think they, for example, need something like a B&M Hyper or something like a Mac, like Extreme Spinner, which they're both rumoured to get. They both asked about them. And I will be honest, both of those rides would, elevate this completely clear. So, thankfully, they don't have it. But personally, I'm just going to give it to Dollywood. I think they have a slightly better lineup overall. And I will be honest, Alton Towers isn't bad, especially if you're coming from overseas. It's a park well worth visiting the UK, and they do have some good rides. It's like, they have a nice mix of coasters, but I do think they kind of lack a proper airtime machine or just something like ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, they have a good lineup. It's not nothing to be ashamed of for Alton Towers, but yeah, just personally, I prefer Dollywood. Right, moving on, we have the thrill rides. Now, this actually would have been a really, really, really challenging video to do, like 3 years ago for Alton Towers, because they had lots more at the time. They had some really interesting ones like Ripsaw, they had Enterprise, and they had Submission and stuff like that. Even though Submission was awful, they still had quite a nice selection. Whereas now they effectively just have their Enterprise, because they continually remove rides and just don't replace them, don't update them. They haven't really added anything in that category. Whereas, Dollywood admittedly doesn't have the most fantastic of thrill ride lineup. They do have a drop tower, which admittedly I actually didn't go on, but that's at least something. And they did have a SNS Scream and Swing, and they're really, really good fun. Barnstorm, I believe it's called. So I will be honest, that's better than Enterprise, so I'm going to have to give it to Dollywood again. This next one is actually really horrible. Again, this was actually been a lot easier a few years ago, and it's the water ride category. So Alton Towers effectively have, I would say, 2 water rides. They have a really, really, really good River Rapid ride, which has effectively one absolutely mega wave, which is amazing, and it's quite a long ride. Have so much fun, getting people absolutely soaked on that thing. Fantastic stuff. Really interactive. Really well, quite well themed. Just generally a really cool ride. Gets you kind of wet, which is exactly what you want. They did obviously used to have a log flume that's been removed and replaced with Wicker Man. So not too harsh on that. I do appreciate that they now don't have a log flume, which I think most parks need, but oh well. They, in fairness, do have like effectively like a boat battle and stuff like that, where effectively, yeah, you just squirt each other, which are always really, really good fun. Not sure why we have those in the UK when effectively it rains most of the time anyway, and they get you absolutely soaked. So they're for very specific scenarios where it's actually sunny. So they actually do have quite a few cool things. I actually used to really like Alton Towers Ride, especially with the flume. I used to really like the flume, irritatingly. But on the other side, effectively, Dollywood does actually have a really, really, really good fun and really, really picturesque flume ride. So it's actually really awkward. I'm actually just going to go for a draw. I really liked what Dollywood had. I actually really liked Alton Towers. If Alton Towers still had their flume ride, it would be theirs all day. But we are now going to get to effectively like food. And I will be honest, like Alton Towers doesn't actually have bad food. Like they have quite a lot of pizzas and stuff like that and burgers. Very classic, traditional, food at any theme park. The only thing is that Dollywood kind of has cinnamon buns. They're kind of amazing. So, yeah, really unfortunate. I mean, I will be honest, I don't actually think any park really would beat it. They're probably the single best, like, effectively savoury item I've had. The only thing I can really think of which would be slightly better would be there used to be some amazing ice creams you can get at Drayton Manor. They were really cool. But yeah, I will be honest, I think it's also going to go to Dollywood. Then we're going to effectively have like theming and park operations, all that stuff is just going to be. I do appreciate it's kind of lazy to just throw it all into one massive category. Where you're just like, yeah, every other stuff involving parks can just go into one nice little box for me to pick which one. So here's the thing. Dollywood is a very picturesque park. They have a nice train. It's a very interactive place. There's for example a metal workshop and stuff like that. Lots of trees, lots of tiny details that I noticed while walking around. Lots of fountains. Very picturesque. Sadly, Alton Towers effectively has a castle and a unbelievably beautiful garden area and lake area. And I will be honest, it's going to go for that. I actually also think, for example, also has a monorail, which is really, really cool. And yes, you can walk, and the walk isn't actually that bad. It's about 5-10 minutes. So not as cool as the monorail, but just for a little bit of information. And I will be honest, I really like how Alton Towers operates in terms of getting in. It's very quick, very easy, very efficient. Dollywood was actually a little bit of a pain. We actually had a problem with our tickets before going, or a slight computer issue which stopped it. So I will be honest, I'm actually going to give this one fully to Alton Towers. No joint run on this. It's a really, really cool park to be in. And generally just a really cool park. So there we have it. Effectively 3-1 to Dollywood. I don't really think you can disagree with that. I think Dollywood is probably the better park overall. Even though Alton Towers is a good park and does have a lot to enjoy about it. I mean, if I was given the choice of being in Alton Towers or Dollywood, I would pick to be in Dollywood. So there we have it. I could easily wish I'd spent an extra day there. So I will actually say for an additional point maybe, Alton Towers does have a couple of really, really nice hotels and a small water parking one. So I'll tell you what, let's bump it up to 3-2. There we are. Let's make it a little bit closer, a little bit fairer. Yeah, I mean, this channel is English after all, so we might as well be a little bit kinder to the old home country. Anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. As I said, Dollywood are just about winners. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Leave your thoughts down below about which one you think would win. And hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next video. Have a good one.